With questions surrounding Hulk Hogan's passing and more, this is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report. After suffering multiple injuries at a New Japan event May of last year, AEW's Eddie Kingston provided an update on Instagram showing that he is back in a ring. While promoting Happy Gilmore 2, AEW star MJF teased a tag team match with Adam Sandler, telling Coffee Chats, "I fired my dad. That's my new dad. I love Adam though. Adam is the man. Now we're talking. Okay, now we're talking. Cause we're going back to Wembley in 2026. So I'm telling you right now, the Gilmore boys might show up and win the tag titles. Wouldn't shock me and it shouldn't shock you." Providing an update on a pro wrestler that is in jail, Ringside News wrote that former TNA wrestling talent Raka Khan, real name Tranisha Biggers, appeared in NYC criminal court this week following her July 25th arrest. She remains remanded on Rikers Island as her legal situation continues to unfold. Ringside News confirmed that Biggers is due back in court this Friday, August 28th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Court records show that Biggers is facing a long list of charges in two separate cases, and she's pleaded not guilty to all of them. In the first case, she's charged with criminal trespass in the second degree, misdemeanor, criminal trespass in the third degree, class B misdemeanor, and trespass violation up to 15 days in jail. The second case, which was re-added to the court system after initially being removed, includes criminal mischief in the fourth degree, misdemeanor, criminal mischief with property damage over $250, class E felony up to 4 years in prison, criminal trespass in the second degree, misdemeanor, criminal trespass in the third degree, class B misdemeanor, and trespass violation. TMZ previously reported that on July 25th, tenants accused Biggers of remaining on the premises without permission despite being served an eviction notice. The outlet also noted prior issues involving her at the same location. Raka Khan gained attention in the wrestling world through WWE's 2005 Diva Search, where she didn't advance past the top 25 but was signed to a developmental deal. After her release from WWE in 2006, she wrestled for several promotions, most notably Impact Wrestling, then TNA, between 2008 and 2009. Her last in-ring appearance came in 2011 with Lucha Libre USA on MTV. Raka Khan's legal situation is still unfolding, and her next court date will be crucial in determining what comes next. Following an attack by Seth Rollins and company on Raw, Roman Reigns could be seen getting help to the back. Mentioning why Roman Reigns is being written off WWE programming, Dave Meltzer said this on Wrestling Observer Radio. "Well, I think that Roman's going to be out filming the movie, so I thought that was an injury angle to take him out for a couple weeks." Brian Alvarez added, "Could be. 3 tsunamis, he should be gone for a little while." Meltzer then said, him and Cody and Hiroki Goto are filming that Street Fighter movie, pretty soon. Yeah, like pretty imminently, yeah." Explaining why she asked to be removed from her father Hulk Hogan's will, Brooke Hogan told Bubba the Love Sponge, "I don't know what was ever real. I loved him so much, but when he entered this world, what Mike Ringer had warned me about, and I was now pregnant with twins and married, and my husband's family is so kind and sweet, and I had something to lose. Money didn't matter. I was like, take me off everything. I was sobbing when I wrote the text to Terry McCoy, the guy who manages his money. I was sobbing and I just said, take me off everything. I don't want to be a part of it because I knew in my mind this is how the math was going to work out. If Sky is a Scientologist, I know that's a very powerful backing. I thought, oh my god, if I get left any money or Nick gets any money, no offense, but my mom has been known to find herself in the mix with things like that. And I was like, I don't want to fight Linda, fight Scientology Scientology. I don't want someone I love to get knocked off. I don't know how deep this stuff goes. It scared me, so I just said I want out. I hoped my dad at least trusted me with his IP and trademarks and stuff, because I said I would have upheld his. I would have made him an Elvis legacy, Marilyn Monroe legacy. I hope whoever has his trademark does that. I just know the people around him are pretty shady and not in his best interests. I was pretty mad. I wrote someone in that camp a scathing text message saying, no one's telling him to sit down. Everybody's there for a paycheck. No one said, Dad, sit down. You don't need to do this. Everyone was egging him on, pumping his ego, and it was killing him. Responding to Brock Lesnar's return to WWE, JANEL Grant's legal team said this to Ringside News. For far too long, abuse was allowed to thrive under WWE's leadership, the spokesperson said. Instead of righting this wrong, WWE's done nothing to ensure those responsible are held accountable. This attempt to sweep misconduct under the rug will backfire. We look forward to the full set of facts, including those about Mr. Lesnar, coming out in a court of law where they belong. But in the meantime, we refer you back to JANEL Grant's updated complaint, which outlines in detail the abuse she endured by McMahon and others while employed at WWE. Questioning why there was no autopsy or toxicology test on Hulk Hogan's body after his death, Bubba the Love Sponge said this yesterday on his YouTube channel. So his doctor, I think his doctor is Dr. Fitzgerald. Dr. Fitzgerald, yeah. He's the one that did the investigation. They didn't even, from what I can gather, because Dan, if you look at this medical examiner case number, not applicable. Because the reason why, from my inside sources, is the medical examiner basically took Dr. Joseph Fitzgerald Jr.'s report, and that's what they went with. Well, that's the certifying physician, Gerald Fitzgerald. Says right above it, type of certifier, certifying physician. The medical examiner case, not applicable. I was told this by a very reputable reporter in town. This is not a family member. This is not an inside circle. This is not a valet. I was told by a very reputable reporter in town that the only person that investigated this, how he died, was Gerald Joseph Fitzgerald. And Dan, if you look at this is the State of Florida Bureau of Vital Statistics Certificate of Death. This is the end-all be-all when it comes to how Terry Bollea died. This is the document, yes, and it right here, the certificate information, the person that certified his death was one person, Gerald Joseph Fitzgerald Jr. He could have said, run over by a unicorn, and no one would have contested it. There's no way to confirm. Had the medical examiner examined it and done its job as a medical examiner, it would have had a case number. Am I right? If you're that high profile with that much money, you are the first person to step on up to an autopsy. No autopsy, no toxicology report, nothing. You take Hulk Hogan, recovering, doing rehabilitative exercises when he died, worth $50 million, just married 2 years ago, and the medical examiner didn't even touch him. That's sketchy. Bubba then talked about Hogan's body being cremated. They immediately got this doctor to come in on a cremation to create this report, and the medical examiner never did his own report. He's relying on Gerald Joseph Fitzgerald Jr.'s report, and that's what they're going with. District 6 Medical Examiner Cremation Approval Summary Report. Terry Bollea, cremation case C2509884, cremation approved. Yes, pathologist Wayne, and it's my understanding they've already burned him up. Tomorrow is the funeral, right? Tomorrow is the funeral for the wrestlers and his friends. The family had theirs on Thursday at 5. While there still may have been a body, but there's obviously, you guys can see here, that the cremation has been approved. The medical examiner didn't do a report, and there was no autopsy, correct? And he died. He literally fell over while rehabilitating himself, and he was healthy enough to be sent home from the hospital and seen by 2 of his friends, Eric Bischoff and Jimmy Hart, both of which said he will be okay. Wouldn't that start? Doesn't that make anybody ask any questions? That the medical examiner just rubber stamped it to go to the crematorium to get burned up and no autopsy and not even a medical examiner's examination? You took his physician's word for it, and he could have pencil whipped that all day, hiding all types of certain things. In that same video, Hulk Hogan's daughter, Brooke Hogan, talked about the care her father received before his passing. Me and Jen had him pretty good, not in mind condition, but pretty good. I've even told my husband, looking at him now, I believed I could see him make it to 85. His heart was compromised, but that surgery shouldn't have been the thing to take him out. Opioids would be, because it slows your breathing. I sent them a detailed note and said, no opioids. When I was putting the pieces together, I knew what was going down. I was like, this is the beginning of the end. I caught nurses trying to take photos of him as he was coming out of anesthesia. Me and Jennifer had to be like guards. There were no limits. Nurses would try to take photos of him while he was sleeping. I caught people double dosing him and getting the medications wrong. It was tedious. Me and Jen did the heavy lifting and had him in a really good spot. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.